In the recent years, global attention has been captivated by a conflict that has been simmering and at times boiling over in Eastern Europe. This is the Ukraine war, a conflict that has drawn in major global powers and reshaped the geopolitical landscape. Our journey starts in February 2024, a time when the war was escalating. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson believed that offering military aid to Ukraine, including tanks, planes, and artillery, would tip the balance in the war against Russia and enhance Western security. Meanwhile, China's top diplomat Wang Yi met with the head of Russia's Security Council in Moscow, where they agreed to oppose the Cold War mentality and strengthen multilateral cooperation for global governance. Fast forward to later in the year, Russia conducted a test of an intercontinental ballistic missile, which seemingly failed. This event coincided with U.S. President Joe Biden's visit to Ukraine. The U.S. was notified in advance and did not view the test as an escalation. However, Russian President Vladimir Putin did not mention the missile test in his State of the Nation address. Instead, he made a significant move and formally declared Russia's suspension of participation in the New START nuclear arms reduction treaty with the U.S. Not long after this, the U.S., European Union, United Kingdom, and Canada decided to impose economic penalties on Russia, with sanctions targeting Russian President Vladimir Putin and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. This marked a significant escalation in efforts to impose economic penalties on Russia, including a travel ban on Putin and various financial restrictions. As the conflict continued, it became clear that Ukraine was not alone in its fight. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky counted on international support to end the war, and China expressed willingness to work with other countries for a ceasefire and lasting peace in Ukraine. By November 2024, the dynamics of the conflict began to shift. General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, stated that Russia had failed to achieve any of its goals in the war in Ukraine and that the Ukrainian military had been successful. He suggested that negotiations, if they were to occur, should be done from a position of strength for Ukraine. Now, reflecting on the key points, it's clear that the Ukraine war has been a complex and multifaceted conflict involving a multitude of global actors. The war has seen numerous twists and turns, from military escalations and failed missile tests to international sanctions and diplomatic negotiations. The conflict has tested the mettle of Ukraine, but with international support, Ukraine has remained resilient. The war has also reshaped the geopolitical landscape, with the actions of Russia, China, and the West having significant implications for global security. The Ukraine war is a stark reminder of the power struggles that continue to define our world, and the potential consequences when those struggles spiral into conflict. As we continue to watch the situation unfold, we can only hope for a peaceful resolution that secures the sovereignty and safety of Ukraine and its people.